back to his right. He's got 4 receivers. Milroe looking, throwing deep. He's got Ryan Williams caught. He's running down the sideline. Breaks a couple tackles. Running. Touchdown, Alabama. What a play. Touchdown, Alabama.
And here's the snap. Hands it to Audric Estime. And that is and should be a touchdown. Here we go. Bryson Barnes has got his back behind him. It is Jaquindon Jackson. Here's the snap. Bryson Barnes looking deep. He's got a man. It's caught! He's got touchdown early. All right, everybody, welcome. It is Black Friday, and it is some college football that is live right here and right now. Okay, I don't have any of my audio coming from my other computer here. But what we're doing here today is we're just basically reacting to the games that are live right now. So I believe all 3 games that you see up in our top left, you're in the top left corner of your screen. You got Iowa, Nebraska, you got Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and you got Utah and Kansas. That's what we're watching as Mark Gronowski for Iowa takes it in. It's going to make it 32-16 Iowa. I got to say this. For an Iowa-Nebraska game, this is really high scoring comparatively. I mean, Iowa has 32 points, folks. It's kind of crazy to think about. Let's see. I want to make sure that we are live. Yes, we're live on Facebook. We're live on Rumble. And we are live on YouTube. So, of course, if you want to watch us, then that is how you can, as that extra point is good for Iowa. 33-16 for the Hawkeyes. So it is really interesting to see how that game is going. I'm trying to real quick with my live stream right now. I'm going to see if it is. Yes, I'm able to share it on the Saber Broadcast Network page on Facebook. So, yes, there we go. So, Saber Broadcast Network has that shared. Nicely done. All right. All right. So, 33-16, Iowa with the lead right now. Ole Miss, there's a pass. And that one is short of the first down. It's going to be second down about 2 or 3 yards for them. Just starting the fourth quarter with Utah and Kansas. Kansas with a 14-10 lead, looking to make a bowl game and knock Utah out of both playoff contention and knock them out of contention for the Big 12 championship game. Trinidad Chambliss is the quarterback for Ole Miss right now as he hands it off to his running back, who's going to get into field goal range as they got a minute left until the end of the third quarter. They're up 24-13 in Starkville. As right there, Utah and Kansas getting back to that game, as that's an incomplete pass from Dampier. It's going to be 2nd and 10 for the Utes. So we're just basically, like I said, the whole goal of this whole stream here today, we're just going to be basically watching football, reacting to it, and, basically be here with you folks. Great run right there for Ole Miss. As the game in Starkville, the Egg Bowl, Kewan Lacey is the running back for the Rebels. Looks like they're going to try to get a playoff before the end of the third quarter. Probably another run to Lacey, if I had to guess. And no play is going to come. That's going to end the third quarter in Starkville. Dampier out to the edge of the field, and it looks like his receiver It's going to go down to about the 26, 27-yard line. And that's going to set Utah up in scoring position. Of course, like I did want to mention, happy late Thanksgiving. It is Black Friday. It is one of the best. This is probably the best week of college football action. There's a touchdown for Utah. They're going to go up 16-14. Wow, Larry Simmons with a 28-yard touchdown for the Utes as they take the lead back from Kansas. Like I was saying, it is Black Friday. You know, I did some Black Friday shopping earlier today in stores. It's not as great as it used to be. That's all I'll say. Kind of sad, honestly. CBS is promoting. They have a Paw Patrol Christmas special. I really don't know. I really don't know, folks. Kind of interesting, that's for sure. All right, here's the snap. Hands it off to the running back. This is the Nebraska game. Emmett Johnson, and he's going to lose yards on that play. Great defense by Iowa. Considering how Iowa's defense played in the first half, this is really a great way to get a stop. It's a great stop. Nebraska's offensive line has no answer right there. It's a great job right there. That's Lutmer getting the stop on Emmett Johnson. 2nd and 14. Here's another carry for Johnson, who's going to break a couple tackles, and he gets a pretty nice gain. I would say about 6 or 7 yards. It's going to be 3rd down for the Cornhuskers. So, of course, they're showing Matt Rule's record at Nebraska, and he's definitely been really good for Nebraska. Iowa's just dominated them in this rivalry, though. Here we go, Latif looking to throw, and wow. I think Emmett Johnson right there has a legitimate argument to be had that right there could legitimately be pass interference. Like, where is the pass interference? No. Okay, never mind. Sorry, folks. I was wrong on that. That's my fault. There is no pass interference there. And there's a punt. And fair catch will be called for by the Hawkeyes. They'll start at about the 36, 37-yard line. So, looks like Gronowski and the Hawkeyes offense will be coming back out. Okay. Ole Miss and Mississippi State. Looks like Trinidad Chambliss is going to be back out there. Got a running back to his right there at the 29-yard line. Takes a snap, looking, going to throw it out wide, and he's got a man wide open for the first down, and he'll be tackled as he gets the football. Ole Miss, with a win, they're pretty much the lock for the college football playoff. With a loss, they only have a 42% chance of making it. And then, of course, Mississippi State, they are looking to be bowl eligible for the first time under Jeff Lebby. Here's another run, and that's not going anywhere for the Rebels. It'll be 2nd down and probably about 10. So, all 3 games are actually back live at this moment. Of course, Curtis. I think looks like oh yeah, Utah's kicking the ball away back to Kansas, and then Chambliss for Ole Miss misfires on his throw out to his receiver, and there's a second down now for Iowa on a carry. So as you can tell, we have a 3 TV setup here in our studio where I can see where I'm watching 3 different games right here, right now, to be able to give you the accurate information about what's going on at this moment. So it is kind of nice to be able to give that to you, the viewers. It's like Chambliss throwing towards the end zone. That is a touchdown for Ole Miss. That is De'Zhaun Stribling, 23 yards, and Ole Miss. Ole Miss. Depending on what Mississippi State does the rest of this game, that could be the dagger. Wow. What a throw. What a catch. I mean, the foot's down. That's a touchdown. That is beautiful. Extra point to come. It is up, and it is good. 31-13, Ole Miss with the lead. And Lane Kiffin pumping his fist in the air. He knows that his team has won. What a game. Ole Miss, their only loss on the season was on the road to Georgia, which they legitimately should have won that game. Here's a carry for the running back for Kansas. He's got a great pickup right there. He's down to about the 24-yard line. That is Williams for Kansas who has the carry. And that is a great pickup right there. Kansas in scoring position. And again, this is the problem here for Utah. They're letting Kansas hang around way too long. LaShawn Williams was the man who had to carry 12 carries today for him, 93 yards on the ground. From the 23-yard line, here's the carry for Williams. He'll get to about the 20-yard line. Also, Iowa and Nebraska, they just ended the third quarter. They're going to the fourth. So it's going to be interesting to see how that game finishes. I may text and see if I can get Colton to come on. Okay, here we go. So let's see here. Kansas got a 1st and goal right now. I think I may get you a graphic where you can see the scores. Or I could. You know what? Let's just do the score. Let's do right here. Actually, you know what? I could pull up. Yeah, let's do it here. All right. We're going to put the scores up on the screen for you. Let's see. Utah leads Kansas 17-14. There's that one. Let's see here. And then one more. All right. So there's your Utah. And it looks like Kansas turns the ball over, and Utah's going to return this all the way back to the house. Wow. Just wow. (23-14). Just wow. That's crazy. It's just Jalen Daniels. He throws the football, and it is intercepted. And there is Utah capitalizing as that extra point is good. (24-14), Utah with the lead. So I got a scoreboard down there for you right here and right now. Let's see. Let's turn our attention to Iowa and Nebraska. 33-16 as they start the fourth quarter. 14.5 to go. 3rd and 4 for the Hawkeyes. We'll see what they can do here. Of course, it's Gronowski. He's got his running back to his left. He's got some receivers out wide. It's like 3 of them. Or 4. He's got 4 receivers wide. Gronowski's looking to throw it. He's going to throw towards the corner. That one. Did he catch the ball? Wow, he's down to the 1-yard line. Vanderzee for Iowa. What a throw. Wow. And did he complete the... I think he completed the catch. That is one hand, and that is crazy. There's a run, punching it in. Iowa has 39. Wow, Kamari Moulton with the touchdown for Iowa. Wow. Who would have guessed that Nebraska would be getting beat by 23 at the beginning of the fourth quarter? Second career game with 2 rushing touchdowns for Kamari Moulton. Extra point is up, and it is good. 40-16. That's crazy. (40-16) is your score in Nebraska. That's crazy. Wow. All right, let's turn our attention up here to Ole Miss and Mississippi State. Mississippi State with the football. See what they can do. Takes a snap. He's looking. Going to take off and run with it. First down, and a little bit more right there for the Bulldogs of Mississippi State. You got to get 18 points. Your season is on the line here if you're Mississippi State. I believe that's Camario Taylor. I think it's the guy's name, they said. Looking to throw. Looking. Deep pass. Oh, he's got a man. He had him. And it's right through the hands of the Bulldog receiver. That was 6. He's wide open. Just a little bit of pressure coming from that defensive back causes it to be incomplete. Oh. Had a touchdown. There is another play right there. That'll pick up the first down. And that gets into field goal range for the Bulldogs. Of course, Mississippi State, they're not going away yet. Here's a snap. Going to hand it off. And that's going nowhere. That is going nowhere as he'll be pulled down. So, here's another passing play for Taylor. Rolling around, looking, now throwing. That one in the back of the end zone. And incomplete. It was in the vicinity of a receiver, but just not. There's no way it was getting to a receiver, if that helps clarify anything. So, 3rd and 10 for Mississippi State. I think quite a few Rebel fans at Davis Wade. Here's the snap. Taylor looking, getting a lot of pressure. He breaks away. He's going to have the first down and more. And he may be going. He is in. Are they going to call a touchdown? Yes, they are. What a run. Kamario Taylor. What a run. That was impressive. That was impressive. 10:40 to go. There's still time if you're Mississippi State. There is a lot of time. Ooh. Goodness. So here we go. They're going to go for 2 right here. So we'll see what they can do on this play as Jeff Lebby still giving out his signal to his quarterback. So here we go. Looks like they had 5 wide a second ago. Man in motion. Here is the fake. Now Taylor rolling. He escaped and just incomplete as he tried to find a receiver in the back of the end zone on that 2-point attempt. And that just did not go the way that the Bulldogs wanted it to. So it's 31-19 is your score at this moment in Starkville, Mississippi. So I'll be honest, I don't think there's any need as there's a big pass for Jalen Daniels down the sideline. Kansas again in scoring position. Let's focus on that game here for a few minutes. Like I was about to say though, I don't think there's any need to really update you on Iowa and Nebraska unless something crazy was to happen because there's still 12.5 to go. And it looks like they may be going 4th down if you're in Nebraska, but we'll see. As Jalen Daniels' pass incomplete is just behind his receiver and deflected by one of those Utah defensive players. Oh, my goodness. Sorry, y'all. Like I said this morning, I got up early and went Black Friday shopping, so if I seem a little tired, that's how to explain that for you. So Jalen Daniels, 4 interceptions in the first 11 games. He has 3 today for Kansas. Daniels looking into the end zone and incomplete. His receiver not really there. And Daniels asking the refs, hey, where is the pass interference there? Kansas had 36 plays in their opponent's territory here today. And definitely, if Kansas loses this game, it is because of the turnovers. Here's Daniels looking, firing, caught! Touchdown, Kansas! That's big. That is a big touchdown there for Kansas. And that they're still in this. Who would have thought going into today that the best game would it, like this time frame that Utah and Kansas would be coming down towards the end of the ball game. 5.5 left until the end of this game, and it's been a good one. 24-21, Utah with the lead, but if you're Utah, it's getting a little scary. It is getting a little scary right now. Kansas is really battling, trying to get into this ball game, so we'll see. It's kind of odd whenever you're when you're live and you have two computers and you have three views of yourself. It's kind of an interesting look, that's for sure. Of course, Dampier and the 13th ranked Utah Ute offense trying to come back out here. We'll see what they can do. Of course, that's going to be Kansas will kick it off. There's a kickoff from Mississippi State, and this one's returnable for Ole Miss. And it's a pretty nice return. Gets out to about the 30-yard line. A nice return right there. There's a flag on the field there. Here we go. Here's Utah's return, and that one's not so good. It looks like there's an injured player for Utah. We'll see if that has any effect on the remainder of this ball game. Looks like he may be fine, though. So, for Utah, win today at Kansas. This is their path to the Big 12 championship game. They got to win today at Kansas. They need a Texas Tech loss at West Virginia. BYU win versus UCF. And then Arizona State win at Arizona. That will put them into the Big 12 title game. But, of course, they lose this game, though, and that's it for them. And it looks like there's a flag on the field. Let's see what that's going to be. And if it's on Utah, it's not good. False start going against Utah. That is not good if you're a Utes fan. Not good whatsoever. It'll be 1st and 15. To think, if you're Kansas, you have a chance to make a bowl game by ruining Utah's season. Oh, wow. Look at this pass by Trinidad Chambliss. His receiver got wide. Oh, Ole Miss is going to score. Ole Miss may have just put it away. That game's over. Wow. That's going to make it 37-19, Ole Miss. What a throw for Trinidad Chambliss. All right, we'll leave the Utah-Kansas score up there for right now because that's the one we're focusing. Actually, you know what? I could. I'm going to put them all on here as Utah moving the football. All right, there we go. Now we got all the scores for the games currently on right here up on the screen for you. Dampier, he's going to try to run it, and he gets a block, and he's just gonna go down. Be third down for Utah. But like I said, we're gonna focus on Utah and Kansas because that game, it's a 3-point ball game. The other two are not really close, so we're not really gonna pay as much attention to those two at this moment. But I'll update you on the score, of course. Here we go. Dampier all alone in the backfield. He dropped the ball. He's going to take off and run with it, and he gets about 2 yards. And that's it. Of course, they're looking at the Heisman watch. Fernando Mendoza, Julian Sayin, Jeremiah Love, and Diego Pavia. How is Diego Pavia still in this? That's interesting. So here we go. Wayshawn Parker. They're showing, I guess he's the running back who took the snap a second ago. Here we go. Dampier back in at quarterback. Going to take off and run with it himself. He's going to get the first down. And they may salt this game away. Utah may win it right here. The injured Jayhawk right here. So we'll see what happens with that. Bengali Kamara, linebacker for Kansas, is the one that's hurt. And Nebraska just fumbled into the end zone. It's going to be Iowa football. 6:38 to go. Man, that's a rough game. 2:29 to go in Kansas. And also, here's a pass from Taylor for Mississippi State as he's dancing around, looking. Now just going to run and get out of bounds. So we'll see what Mississippi State does on this next play. And, of course, for Utah and Kansas, it's going to definitely be if Kansas loses this game, it's because of the turnovers. They lost a turnover battle 3-1. Dampier looking to run, breaks a couple tackles, still running, and he gets about midfield on that 1st and 10 run. Nicely done right there by Dampier. And another timeout by Kansas. So, very interesting. Kamario Taylor for Mississippi State throwing. That one too high. 7:46 to go. Alex Bray, defensive end for Kansas. He's hurt. Hopefully he's going to be okay. Got a lot of interesting football games, that's for sure, though. Of course, coming up next on ABC, it's going to be Georgia and Georgia Tech. That one's going to be fun. So we're going to, of course, stay on and cover that for you. Kamario Taylor going to throw deep. And that one incomplete, but oh my goodness. That was a big hit. That'll. Wow, that was an interesting exchange. Here we go, 2nd and 7 for Dampier and the Utah Utes. It's Dampier with the run again. He somehow finds a way to get about 3 yards right there. Like, I don't understand. How is that possible? So 3rd down for Utah. 3rd and 5. So he only got 2, but still, the fact that he did get what he did is pretty impressive, honestly. 3rd and 5 for Utah. Devin Dampier today, 14 of 24, 205 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's got 50 rushing yards himself. Been a pretty good day for him. So, a little bit more to go. Utah, 2 minutes, 21 seconds. No more timeouts for Kansas. Pretty much a 1st down, and Utah can pretty much seal this win for them, giving them a chance to go to the Big 12 championship game. Dampier looking to throw. He's going to throw it deep. Got a man open. Caught. That's a touchdown. And Utah may have just sealed it. Wow. Larry Simmons, 48 yards, and Dampier may have just thrown the game-winning touchdown for Utah. Beautiful pass. He just floats this one up in the air. Simmons runs right underneath of it. Touchdown, Utah, as they may have just put on ice. 2:14 to go, though. Still some time for Kansas, but I don't know. Going to be interesting. 31-21, Utah with the lead. Give you an update. 4:17 to go in Nebraska. It's still 40-16 Iowa, so that score has not changed. Nor do I think that will change anyway. And then Ole Miss and Mississippi State, they are at a commercial break. And so let's go ahead and join them with a commercial break. We will see you on the other end of this commercial. All right, welcome back, everybody. So it is now, it's 31-21, Utah leading Kansas. They have the 2-minute timeout coming up. 2-minute timeout about to come up for Iowa and Nebraska. One more snap to come in that game. First, though, here's Gronowski going to hand it off to his running back. And nice little run right there. So that'll take you to the 2-minute timeout there. And Ole Miss is also driving with 5 minutes, 50 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. So a couple of games, 3 games that are about to finish, and 3 that may be out of reach at this point. So early slate, I mean, not, Utah and Kansas was a good game, but the other 2, I thought they'd be a lot better than what they've ended up being. So Trinidad Chambliss is going to let that clock run down, and I think they may have taken a timeout to avoid, first timeout by Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin wanting to talk to his guys. Basically, he's telling them, hey, calm down. It's okay. Just finish the deal here. (38-19), Ole Miss. Well, folks, you're going to see Ole Miss in the college football playoff. But as far as who they play, it's going to be interesting to see for sure. But, this is a good way against your rival to just go out and just dominate them on their home turf. That's what you needed to do, and that's what Lane and his team has done. They've just taken control. 3 consecutive 10-win seasons, first in school history. 502.6 total yards per game, leads FBS since 2020. They're seeking their first college football playoff appearance, which if this continues the way it's going, then they're going to be there. 5:12 to go. Chambliss going to take off and run with it. Oh, actually, this is a running back. I think it's Lacey. And he just hurdled a man and gets outside. And that is going to be a first down for Ole Miss. As they can smell it. They're in the playoff. Of course, on CBS, they're doing the update showing the touchdown that Dampier threw. That's going to win the game. So here we go, 4:41 to go in Starkville. Chambliss going to hand it off to Kewan Lacey. And he just gets a few yards right there. Of course, tomorrow here on State Broadcast Network, we're going to be doing the Iron Bowl. We're going to do play-by-play of it. So instead of this format where we're just basically watching games and reacting to them, we're going to actually do some play-by-play. There's Gronowski for Iowa, and he gets just about a couple yards. That's it. And it's just kind of crazy to see. Iowa has put up 40 points against Nebraska. Of course, they're showing the best play of the game from Iowa on CBS. Over on ABC, clock continues to roll. Chambliss and Ole Miss looking to score again. And then Utah's got the football once again, and it looks like, 152 to go, Utah could pretty much just put this game away. They're just going to take a knee and just end it. So Utah is going to go to 10-2. Kansas will go to 5-7. Kansas will have no chance of a bowl game here. And Iowa is going to take a knee as well. That game is going to finish 40-16. Iowa wins that game. So, only one game is, still going. So, good stuff there early. Iowa's going to beat Nebraska 40-16. And Utah's going to beat Kansas 31-21. As Iowa and Nebraska's gone final, 40-16, Iowa wins the football game. And so my big screen TV is going to go to 31 and watch the rest of Ole Miss and Mississippi State. Okay, we're going to get the game on FS1 put up on this TV that I had Ole Miss, Mississippi State on. But yeah, Air Force and Colorado State on that TV, but we may not be following it too closely, honestly. They'll just be on. I'll give you updates. And it has gone final. Utah beats Kansas 31-21. So let's go ahead and there's our next set of games. You got Georgia Tech, and the North Texas and Temple. That's the two we're really keeping our eye on. North Texas and Temple will start in about 10.5 minutes. And so here we go. Here's Chambliss handing it off to his running back. And that's a nice gain on 3rd and 16. That's going to bring up an opportunity for a field goal for Ole Miss. 2:52 to go. Sounds like Mississippi State may have taken a timeout. Yeah, second timeout taken by Mississippi State. As they pretty much know it's over. Their season will be over. Air Force and Colorado State, that game is two teams that have no chance of making a bowl game, so it's pretty much not really, it's just on, basically, is all I'm saying. So here we go, 2:56. They put a couple seconds back on the clock in Starkville. So 4th and 5, we'll see what Ole Miss decides to do. Whether they just leave the offense out there and run another play or what. All right. We are okay. I'm going to have to step out for just a minute. But we got the score here. Let me watch this next play and then we'll see what happens. Chambliss and I think Ole Miss burns a timeout there. All right. You got the score for Ole Miss, Mississippi State on the screen. I will be right back, folks. All right, we are back, folks. Sorry about that. Um, got a comment on the Facebook side. Okay. Got a comment. Oh, it's a thumbs up. Okay, good. Cool. Of course, we got some games that are. My light decided to go off. That's weird. Let me check that for a second. Yeah, I don't know why that cut off. Just kind of weird. So Air Force up 14-0 in Colorado State right now. So we'll see what happens in that game. Of course, Colorado State's got a new head coach. They hired Jim Mora from UConn. Kind of interesting there. What's your thoughts in the chat? I mean, I really want to know what your thoughts are on that. So, also, we're going to try to keep an eye on trying to see if Ole Miss and Mississippi State, if they ended while I was out, or if 2 minutes is 38-19. So I mean, yep, they're back. 38-19. Mississippi State has the football. So Ole Miss must have went for it and did not get it. Mario Taylor is going to look to pass. Looking, pressure, going down. Well, Bulldogs are going to play to the end. That is for sure. Here's a pass, looking, throwing, that's caught. And he gets that 5 yards back that you saw from the sack. So, still got some time left. 3rd and 9 for Mississippi State. Taylor looking, rolling, throwing. That one is out of bounds. One more play coming up for this Mississippi State offense, and if they don't convert here, then that will pretty much end the game, and Ole Miss will go to 11-1. Clinching scenarios for the SEC championship game. Ole Miss, they got this win. They needed both Texas A&M and Alabama to lose. So here we go. Here is Taylor looking, got a lot of time in the pocket. And now he's got some pressure coming. Now gets away from that. Looking still, now going to throw it. And nowhere near his receiver. That'll pretty much end that. It looks like that will pretty much end the game as Taylor is hurt. And he's going to walk off towards the sideline. It's a foot injury. He's hobbling, and we'll see what that means. Of course, Temple and North Texas getting started. If North Texas wins this game, that'll punch their ticket to the American Conference Championship game. So that's interesting there. But Ole Miss probably take 2 knees, and that'll end that ball game there. So, interesting stuff. Well, there it is. And so Ole Miss will most likely have just punched their ticket to the college football playoff with this win against Mississippi State. You know, I kind of agree. I do agree. Lane Kiffin should stay. But as far as if he does, I guess we'll have to see. First 11-win regular season for Ole Miss ever in their history. Interesting stuff there. Okay. All right, there's your updated scoreboard. And Colton says that this was Lane's last game at Ole Miss. I mean, hey, maybe, maybe not. Let's wait and see what happens. A lot could happen. But what just happened is that both Mississippi State and Kansas have been knocked out of bowl game contention. So both schools will not make a bowl game. That's funny. Let Kiffin getting $15 million to go 9-3 every year at Ole Miss. I mean, hey, there's not much expectations. So I mean, hey, might as well. Okay, Taylor McGregor from ESPN literally is asking Kiffin right now if he's made up his mind. He said that he has not, and that he's got a lot of praying to do on it. So that is very interesting, that's for sure. Wow. Georgia and Georgia Tech. What a game that's going to be. It's going to be a good game. Oh, 4.5 minutes. John Summerall to Florida. Okay. And then Colton says praying as in negotiating. Okay, yeah. Okay, I want your opinions, though. What is your thoughts on Georgia and Georgia Tech? They're going to be playing at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium instead of playing at Bobby Dodd Stadium. In my opinion, I think it's kind of sad. But of course, I want to get y'all's opinions on that. Temple got a 3rd and 14 here with 11 minutes to go in the first quarter against North Texas. They're driving right now. I got to say this. They could punch their ticket to a bowl game with this if they beat North Texas. And that's not going to guarantee North Texas will win that game, like get to the American Conference Championship game. Colton says Georgia has a massive advantage. I would agree. I think that this is this is a disadvantage if you're Georgia Tech. I agree with that. And then Colton also said Georgia wins at 34-27 over Georgia Tech. I mean, hey, not a bad score prediction. We've been on here for an hour, folks. Just watching football all together. So, Georgia and Georgia Tech on Black Friday in the afternoon. Okay, let me say this, though. ABC's schedule today for college football, Black Friday, this is one of the best I've seen on ABC ever. That's saying a lot. They have the Egg Bowl followed by good old-fashioned hate, and then you got the Texas rivalry. I mean, hey, you have got a great lineup of games here today on ABC. Second down for North Texas as they have the football now. A little bit of a change, that's for sure. So here we go. Looks like it's about time, under a minute until kickoff for Georgia and Georgia Tech. Georgia wearing their home uniforms, Georgia Tech wearing the road uniforms. Imagine, this is just kind of, it's just weird seeing this as a neutral site game. They're calling it the Atlanta Gridiron Classic. Wow. 2nd and 9 for North Texas. See what they can do. Okay. Carson Beck, Diego Pavia, and John Mateer. From worst to best. Well, out of those three, I think Carson Beck's the worst one. I don't think many people are going to disagree with that. I think it's self-explanatory. Carson Beck, he's a interception machine. Georgia's fixing to play. If you're a Georgia fan, you're watching this, you know just how bad some of those interceptions can be. I would say number 2, I think, at least if you look at career-wise, probably, I feel like Pavia and Mateer are just really close. I don't know how much they really separate from each other. But personally, I think Pavia is not quite as good as John Mateer overall. So I would say John Mateer 1, Diego Pavia 2, and Carson Beck 3. As there's the kickoff, and Georgia Tech will have the football to begin this football game. As there's a muff, and that is going to be terrible position. Wow. Haynes King's got a long way to go. So let's see what Haynes King can do here today. Georgia Tech career ranks. He's first in completion percentage, second in total yards, first in pass/rushing touchdowns. As right now, giving you an update, North Texas looks like they're going to score. Touchdown, North Texas. Wow. So North Texas gets on the board first there with that game. And second down and a long, there it's going to be like 2nd and 11 for Georgia Tech. Yes, both of these teams, I can see them in the playoff because I think Georgia Tech, I don't know how the ACC race is going right now. They'll probably update you throughout the game, but they'll probably play for the ACC title. As there, Haynes King gets rid of the football. Are they going to – I don't know exactly if that's going to be called a – okay. Jesse Palmer's saying that should be a safety. I could see that, though. Yeah, I agree. That should be a safety. Missed call right there. They're reviewing that touchdown for North Texas. That's kind of interesting. We'll see what they do there with that. Here we go. Haynes King looking to throw. He's going to throw it. That one's caught down the middle. Nice throw and a first down for the Jackets. They're still looking at that touchdown for North Texas. Going to see, are they saying his knee was down short of the goal line? Kind of interesting. I'm not sure. You can't really tell. I think he's about right where they've talked about him for Haynes King. As there's Jamal Haynes with a nice little run for Georgia Tech. So they're still reviewing that touchdown for North Texas. We'll see what they've decided on. Call upheld, meaning touchdown North Texas. I mean, from the views, the angles they were showing on the camera, there's not much to really say, hey, that's not a touchdown. Like, there wasn't much there. Here we go. Haynes King all alone in the backfield. Takes the snap, looking to throw it. Haynes King having to get away from pressure. King looking, throwing. That'll be caught. First down, Jackets. Here's another thing that's interesting, though, about this matchup between Georgia and Georgia Tech. I want to know, from those of you watching, maybe you know the answer to this, but how many rivalry games like this are there where, for instance, Brent Key, the head coach at Georgia Tech, he's coaching his alma mater, Kirby Smart. Same thing. So is this like the only one of the only matchups where two coaches are coaching from their alma mater? Here's King looking. He escaped some pressure, and now he's going down. That is Miller. And Haynes King comes up a little bit hurt. That's not a good sign if you're Georgia Tech. And he trips over his teammate, the offensive lineman. That's not a good sign. You don't want Haynes King tumbling down like that. 2nd and 17. King still out there. Man in motion. Here's King looking to throw. That is going to be out wide. And that's going to pick up a few yards right there. Maybe getting back to the 10 yards that they had on the first down. So 3rd down for Georgia Tech. 3rd and 11. 3rd down defense this season for Georgia, 42% first 7 games, 26% in the last 4 games. That's conversion rate for the opposing team. Here is the snap. Haynes King looking, rolling, and throwing incomplete. So, Corey, to answer your question, should Thomas Hammock get fired? Is he? Remind me. He's the guy who's coaching Northern Illinois, right? I'm pretty sure. Getting a random phone call, some 844 number. I don't know who you are. Put you on voicemail. Georgia Tech punts that ball away, and that'll be fair catch by Zachariah Branch. So here comes Gunnar Stockton and the Georgia Bulldogs offense here this afternoon. Should be a really interesting ball game. We'll see what he can do. All right, folks. Let's take a short commercial break, and we'll come back with some more college football. All right, welcome back, everybody. Temple's got the football, down 7-0. 6.5 to go in that first quarter. Gunner Stockton and the Georgia Bulldogs, they got the football. So we'll see what they can do. Here is the snap. Stockton running. That'll be a first down for Gunner Stockton. So, to answer the question about Thomas Hammock, yeah, I mean, I don't really know. It's going to be interesting because next year's their first year. I mean, I am writing this. Next year will be their first year in the Mountain West because, the Mountain West had a bunch of their teams leaving to go to the Pac-12 next season. So here's Stockton throwing. That'll be caught out wide, get about 5 yards. But, I mean, I say keep Thomas Hammock one more year. Just have that continuity going into playing in a new conference. And then if things don't work out in the Mountain West next season for Northern Illinois, then fire Hammock then. But just at least keep him this one more year. That's just my opinion. Here we go. Stockton, running back to his right, going to hand it off to his running back, who's only going to get a few yards right there. Third down for Georgia. Got to turn the comment off. There we go. Third and 3 for Georgia. So here's what the plan is. I'm going to go till about halftime here of Georgia and Georgia Tech, and then I'm going to get off of here. Potentially I may do another stream later tonight, but we'll just have to wait and see. There's Stockton getting a first down for Georgia. Just a nice run right there. Great blocking right there for Georgia. And you can see right here, I think Georgia's offense, that's an element that you didn't get last year with Carson Beck. You have the running ability of Gunner Stockton that you didn't have with Carson Beck. Carson Beck's just a drop-back passer. Stockton can actually get out of the pocket and make some plays, and then he gets sacked right there. But, I mean, it is interesting to see what he can do. Almost near the end of the first quarter for North Texas and Temple, 2nd and goal. Of course, Temple's trying to, like I said earlier, trying to make it to a bowl game. All right, Stockton for Georgia, looking, now rolling. He's going to run, and he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage right there. It's 3rd and 13 for Georgia. 3rd and goal for Temple, I mean. Very interesting stuff we're seeing right now. Here's Stockton looking on 3rd and 13, throwing across the middle. It's picked off. Georgia Tech with a football. And that is big. That is big. Imagine if that is a big turning point. I mean, wow. It's going to be Tech football when they return. Just wow. Wow. My light went off again. Wow. both games that I'm keeping an eye on, they're both at a commercial break right now. So yeah. Feel like I'm kind of starting to lose my voice a little bit. Kind of funny, interesting, funny with that. Oh, I'm back live on my phone. So, of course, we're just waiting for both of those games to come back. Air Force and Colorado State. 2nd and 2 coming up. There's a run, and that's going to be a first down for Air Force. So, Air Force has 8 first downs to 4 Colorado State. Here's another run for Air Force. Nice run right there. I mean, Colorado State's defense didn't do much to really stop Air Force. All right. Here's a new update. I'm going to go until the end of the first quarter of Georgia and Georgia Tech, and then we're going to end this stream. And then, like I said, maybe near the end of the ball game, I may come back for Georgia and Georgia Tech, but we'll see. So, here we go. 4th and goal for Temple right now. We'll see. Looks like they're probably going to end up taking a field goal. We'll see what they do. Taking a long time. This is another play that goes outside. Nice throw by Haynes King. So that'll be a couple yards. So Temple's still trying to decide what they're going to do on this 4th and goal opportunity. They're going to go for it. Let's see if Temple can score. And, oh my goodness, Temple scored a touchdown. Temple scored. What a touchdown. Wow. And I think there's a false start on Georgia Tech. So there's a throw by Haynes King, and that'll be just short of the first down. Extra point for Temple is good. My light, I don't know why. My light just does not want to stay on for some reason. But there we go. There's your update on the score for North Texas. And first down for Georgia Tech. All right, what let's see. What team that you think will make the playoffs do you think would be the most disappointing, like SMU last year? Honestly, just because of the aspect of the group of 5 champion getting in, Tulane getting in, I don't think they have much of a chance. Plus, I mean, it's good they get there, but being a 12 seed, you don't really have a chance because you're going to have to go up against a 5 seed. That's the best team that did not get a bye. So, I mean, it is what it is. There's another run. So, clock continues to run there for Georgia and Georgia Tech. I really don't know what's going on with this light. Really weird. It's like it doesn't want to stay on. But then it goes off, but it still shows like you can click the button to turn it back on. So I don't understand. So here we go. And timeout Georgia Tech. All right, I think we're going to go ahead and end the stream here, folks. It's been fun. I may come back a little bit later here tonight. So, folks, it's been fun. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again later. Goodbye, everybody.